Hi y'all, welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel. Hi, I'm FASHFAB. You can call me Fash. This is Sally. Y'all, it's 2 Look Tuesday. It's time for 2 looks. On this channel, we create beauty one palette at a time. Grab your brushes, grab your palettes. Let's get into it. The palettes are these Breaking Dawn palettes from GLAMLITE. I have had these in my possession for, well, since they came out. So it's been a hot minute, but I realized that I've never used them on camera. And there's 2 palettes, and it's Tuesday. So let's do 2 looks. I will pop up pictures next to me of the shades that I'm using. Let's get into, I want to go in with this one first. Here's the color story. Yeah. I think we need to dive into this one first. Because I feel like if I don't lay down some sort of transition shade, especially with these dark shades, I'm going to regret it. So I'm going to use Lion as my transition shade. My primer today is a Sigma primer, and it's in Ignite. So that's the primer. But I think just because these shades, y'all, are so super duper dark, I really think I'm safe doing this. I'm going to go into Bite. And this is a dark gray. And I'm just going to take this on this outer corner. And I want to kind of stay low. I know. I say that every single time and I fail. Playing with dark shades, y'all, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with dark shades. I wish I had normal eyes. Eyes that are proportioned correctly. I think I want to go into this purple. And this is, ooh, definitely a special shade, but dang, it's so dark. But I think if I go in with this first, then I can transition from this shade, like being as dark as it is, to lighter. Start from outer, go to inner. But dang, look at that shade. Well, a lot of this palette is purple and reds, and a tad bit of black and a light pink. Well, go big or go home. I'm going to go into Edward. Whoa. Jeez Louise. Am I going to regret this? I don't know. It's not bad. It's not too bad. I mean, trust the process, Fash. Trust the process. But holy mackerel. I hope this doesn't stain. I mean, I have a primer on, but I hope it doesn't stain. Reds are notorious for staining, especially on my skin. It's horrendous. Okay. So that's kind of sort of blended. I'm going to do the same over this line. Maybe blend them in together. So I'm just taking the same brush that I laid down Edward with, and I am just going back and forth to lighten that. I think I'm going to go into Vegetarian. Might as well use all of the dark shades at once. Oh, this has a, I don't know, is that turquoise? Green? I'm going to take this on into the inner corner. I'm also going to buff this in to this red. Wazzas, y'all. Payoff. Above all that, I'm probably going to regret this. But I think I'm going to go into Bite, which is that very first shade we laid down. And I barely dipped into it. But I'm going to take this over the top of all these into this crease just to darken it and blend them together. Now I'm going to see if I can't move some of this up to blend it into that transition shade that we used, which was Lion. I'm going to go above all this with Thirst. And that's that light gray. I'm definitely going to take Diamond on the inner corner. I want to go in with Ultra. I'm going to take this small pencil brush and I'm going to go into Mind Reader. And this is a dark maroon. And I'm going to smudge this out. Okay, y'all. Let me finish the eyes. Hold on your butts. Hey, y'all. Here's the finished look. So this is the Breaking Dawn palette with Edward. And then, okay, on my cheeks, I went in with BEAUTE Bar. I went in with this blush. And this is their Juicy Cheeks palette. And then I went in with the BEAUTE Bar Oracle. Y'all, I think they've sold out of this, but this is the highlighter palette. And I just took my brush all across this row down here. I just swirled it. And then I went in with that. My lips is the Breaking Dawn collection These two, I'm not sure if there was another one because I think I only purchased one, but this is the color. And then the lip liner is like a dark, dark plummy black. And then I just went in with black liner, a pair of lashes, and yeah, here we are. So here's the finished look. Let's get into look 2. This palette is the one we're doing today. Here is the color story. Very neutral. I don't know. This is neutral. We love a neutral every now and then. I will pop up pictures next to me of the shades I'm using. Let's get into this look. I'm going to go into pack. This is definitely, I see more of tans and like just neutral. So this is definitely, I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a neutral palette. I like a neutral palette every now and then, not all the time, because I like color. I like color. So with the same brush, I'm going to go into LA Push. And I'm going to take this on this outer corner. So when I opened this, you know, before I started recording, I knew it was a neutral, but I just couldn't believe how neutral this palette is for GLAMLITE. Because GLAMLITE usually is big on, you know, color. Okay, now I'm going to go into Moonlight. And this is a gray. And I'm going to just take this in this crease. Definitely needs blended, that's for sure. But I don't mind this in the crease at all. I'm going to take whatever's left over on that first brush. I'm just going to run it through this crease. Then I'm going to take an empty brush and go over the edge to kind of blend these two colors together, kind of marry them together. Definitely moving it towards the brow, just so it kind of softens all of that. I think I'm going to go in with Telepathy just because this is a green and I know y'all know how I feel about a green, but I'm going to go in with my finger. Oh yeah, better payoff. Holy shnikes. Okay. I want to go in with Wolf. And I'm going to take this and I'm going in with a super small flat brush because I kind of want to just blend and buff. I'm using my Sigma switch. Y'all, I love that thing. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Guardian. Definitely on the inner corner. I'm going to have to go back in, I think, to that green and definitely pull it more in to the shade that I'm laying down because this is definitely a satin. It's a special shade, but it's basically the color of my skin. So I'm going to go in with this brush just because I can't get in there with my short fat finger, and I'm going to just take this over the top of this color and I'm marrying or blending or smudging, combining, whatever you want to call it, into that shade. Now there is a dark green in here and it's called Loyal, and I'm going to take this in the lower lash line and I'm just laying this down. Okay, I'm going to take an empty brush and I'm just going to smudge this in. Okay, y'all. Let me finish the eyes. Hold on your butts. Here's the finished look. Very neutral, very plain, except for the pop of green. Okay, my cheek blush color is by NYX, Better Than Before. My lip is by MAC in the shade Fabby. That is it, kids. That is it. That is all that's on my face. So this is a very neutral palette. Again, I used this, and it's still, y'all, it's not punchy like it is in the pan. If you are wanting a super neutral palette, or if this palette speaks to you, I will leave the link down below. Not affiliated, purchased with my own money, all the things. Y'all, hype a girl out. In the comments, swipe left. Press that hype button, follow the prompts. It shoots your girl up in the algorithm. You get 3 hypes a week, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would use one on me. Like, subscribe, share. Click that notification bell down there. It should let you know next time I upload. I hope you guys are having an awesome, amazing day. I've got to go work out, so I've got to get my liquid IV in my water bottle, and I'm going to go for a walk after I lift weights. Anywho, y'all, Sally and I will see you in our next video. Doodles!